All right, y'all, get in here. CNN just dropped the final nuke right on the foreheads of all the DEMS in the shutdown. Legitimately, final nail in the coffin. Everything that we've been working towards and the culmination of this event just dropped from CNN. Guys, the polling that I'm about to show you pretty much puts a bow on it, stick a fork in it. It's not long now. Now, of course, everything will be linked in the description box below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to continue winning and save this country from the ilk of which we are about to dive into. And of course, hit me 5x5 audio video in the chat. Make sure everything is working properly. And the emojis in chats are extremely helpful in helping with the distribution of these videos. It's free. It's fun. You get a little dopamine reaction and you get to see me react to your comments. Who is not in love with that? But guys, we are going to walk through something right now that I am amped to show you, because everything that we've been talking about recently is all coming up to this point. Let me just give you a brief recap. While everyone's filtering in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it out, all the good things, guys. You have to understand that all the little individual documented pieces that we're covering over the last 3 weeks are culminating in an individual point. We saw this all the time in the gun world. We see it in politics general. We see it in Democrat versus Republican. We see it in saving our country, okay? You follow the tiny little details and breadcrumbs and you're going to lead to the whole cookie, right? We Hansel and Gretel this all day. Trump has the Democrats bent over a barrel on the shutdown because they say we're going to shut down the government because you're acting like a king. He says, fine, do it, and he gets to cut all the spending and programs he wants, like $28 billion as of right now. And then the big play from the Democrats is that, oh my goodness, everyone's going to hate him because they're so mean. Well, it turns out all the evidence is to the contrary, and the Republicans are only going up, the Democrats are going down, and they look like psychopaths. I'm going to be honest, uncaring psychopaths. All the quotes and all the clips. We're going to play all of them when this wraps up. But all right, guys, let's get in here. I'm just going to jump right into this because I am amped, and I'm feeling the juice. Because this is, God, we talk about this stuff, and when these things happen and confirm it, it just feels right. All right, let's get in here. So, here is yet another polling firm that shows the 2026 generic ballot for battleground districts. Now, battleground districts are pretty important when they come to elections because they determine the entire direction of the country. Republicans, 51%. Democrats, 49%. Now, why that's important, and you guys stay for this whole video, by the way, because the clips that I'm about to show you, this is the one I've been wanting to do. So, the generic ballot that we're talking about right now, that already has a built-in advantage of around +3 for Democrats, thrust 3 to 4. So, translated out, if you see a generic ballot that says Democrats +3, it basically means it's even. If you see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that means they have a correlating advantage, okay? If they're losing on swing states, in the middle of their only leverage play against the White House administration, they're doing it real wrong. Okay, let's keep on going. There are 730 of you in here. Thank you guys so much for showing up, because this is why you came here. This clip from Harry Hinton of CNN is all of it. It is, thermonuclear detonation is the only way I can describe this. So the hopes and dreams of the left. And guys, emojis, chats, likes, shares, all the things. Let's get it. I love you all. So we're going to get into it right now. And I'm going to stop it because I'm excited. Watch this.
Starting with Republicans, how has the shutdown seemed to have affected their political standing?
Yeah, you might think, given that the Republicans are in charge of both the House and the Senate, that a government shutdown might actually hurt the Republican brand. But in fact, it hasn't. If anything, it's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since
It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. Well, guys, let me hear you in the chat. What could that possibly mean? You guys are very astute political analysts. We talk about this stuff all the time. We drive to save our country together. What does that possibly mean? If they were +2 before a shutdown, the Democrats do a full court PR press full of lies and laden with mistruth and a lot of sociopathy. You know what? Sociopathic behavior. Whatever. And now afterwards, they're higher? You done goofed. I'm just saying, if Harry Hinton on CNN is saying GOP has stronger polling perception numbers on their brand after the shutdown shenanigans we've seen, wrap it up, put a bow on it, check us out, we'll be in the car on the way home. Because this bad boy will not continue for long if this is truly the way it's going. Because this is the entire point. The entire point for the left on this was to damage the Republicans so they would have hurt and pain in the midterms. If they are going up in the midterms, they're going to stop immediately. The problem no longer becomes, how do we make the Republicans not win? The problem becomes, how do we find the escape route and the escape valve and the off-ramp so the left doesn't hang us by our toes? That's exactly what the next conversation is going to be. I'm telling you, +5. Trump's approval numbers have never been higher. I mean, guys, you can't make this stuff up. They couldn't do worse if they tried. Let's keep going. There's even more. Of course, emojis, chat, shares, likes. Let's get it.
Shut down. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at is, well, hey, why should we give an electorally speaking when our brand has actually improved a little bit?
Now, we say there.
Pivotal question. Again, guys, we're only one clip in. We've got 4 more you gotta see. Pivotal question. What electoral reason would the Republicans have to abandon course and cave when the numbers look like that? When Trump's approval numbers look like that? When they're cutting the spending like they are? Guys, Trump is out of the country. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not never-ending clips of Trump that the media has been able to say, ha-ha, got him. You'll also notice that there's no Republican clips with a ha-ha, got him, because the entire House is boop, gone. The focus is on the Democrats being psychos, not on the Republicans being buffoons. You're watching really well-handled Republican warfare, honest to God. Political, of course. All right, now, let me keep on going because we're about to shift into a different realm on this clip. This clip is literally like the gift that keeps on giving. It's amazing. All right, let me hear you in the chat, the emojis. Let's get it. Harry, take us home.
Their position is getting better with whom?
Yeah, okay, with whom? So I think it's 2 groups that it's so important to keep an eye on. All right, changing the Republican Congress's net approval rating versus pre-shutdown. It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base. It's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this, among independents. It's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle. And this is the type of math that if you're Republicans, you like to see, right? Because something could rally the base but alienate those in the middle, or something could rally those in the middle but alienate the base. But the truth is, we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is the Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well, that Republican brand when it comes to those in Congress. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point?
And Democrats.
Again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point? Guys, legitimately, it is hard to overstate how important this is. And I'm going to draw a little correlation. Come here. Do you remember the video that we did this morning when we talked about how the Democrats were locking down the Democrat vote and they were consolidating their base with the shutdown tactics, but they were turning off independents and they were turning off Republicans? And I said in that video, you can go back and check the tape, I said when you're only solidifying your base, but you're not getting independents, you are absolutely losing. You are not having any net benefit whatsoever. The Republicans, in contrast right here, according to CNN's polling, they're not only consolidating their base at +12, which is amazing by itself, they're also picking up +8 independents. Guys, they are picking up 2 out of the 3 political demographics in the country, and whoever has the independents, there goes wins. Literally, you have the independents and the Republicans, a strong consolidated base, and you're picking up independents. If you're on the Democrat side, you might as well literally just phone it in and be like, okay, y'all won this one. What do you want so we can get out without too much bloodshed on our end? Literally, that's the only place you can go because you're getting slaughtered on Team Blue. I mean, like smoked. But now, let's jump over to Team Blue. Again, I told you, this is the clip that keeps on giving. Let's go. Loving the emojis, the chats, the engagement. Thank you, guys. Let's get it.
Of course, they have their eyes on the midterm elections. Yeah, we have elections 1 week from today, but what Democrats in Congress are mostly focused on are 1 year and 1 week from today from the midterm. So how are they positioned right now?
Yeah, so, I mean, look, the generic congressional ballot, which traditionally Democrats have done really well on, and if you look at this point back when Trump was president the first time around, Democrats were up 11 points. Look at where it is now. Democrats are ahead, but they're actually only up 3 points. This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years. And this is no different from pre-shutdown. So Republicans aren't losing on this metric either. They become more popular, and they're actually in a pretty good position for them historically when it comes to the generic congressional ballot.
This
is nothing short of nightmare fuel if you're on Team Blue. Team Blue, Team Lefty, Team Democrat, Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, all of them. This is nightmare fuel. Republicans are consolidating at plus 12. You have your entire caucus out there hitting the media circuit looking very uncaring and sociopathic. There we go, that's the word. Then you got the GOP brand going up. You've got Trump's brand going up. You have Democrats on the generic ballot going down, comparing the last Trump administration of plus 11 to plus 3. This is a 5-alarm, DEFCON 1. They are done. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. Before, I was like 92%, 90% that the Dems were going to lose. I'm now at like 99% on this one. Because legitimately, with not a peep of support across the board, with polling, with spending, with actual electoral interactions, with electoral chances, with the new generic ballots, with the new Trump approval, they're not going to win. Barring something out of the norm, like something really silly and stupid, I do not see how they win. I mean, honestly, I think they're going to cave. And I expect them to cave pretty soon. I mean, honestly, I think it's, again, a matter of seeking off-ramps. But now, let's go on, guys. That was a good clip. That was a real good clip. And now I'm going to show you something else. Because remember how I said earlier, there's a few ways you can handle this, and the Democrats are handling it one way, and the Republicans are handling it another way? Well, I'm going to show you a clip real quick of Speaker Senate Majority Leader John Thune. This is the guy that runs the Senate for the Republicans, okay? What he says here in this 50-second clip is showing the cracks in the armor. They're showing the cracks in the Democrat Party. Watch what he says about what Democrats are doing behind the scenes with him and his people. If you're just now getting in, jump on the party. This bandwagon is going to town. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, emojis, chats. They do all the amazing work. Take it, Speaker. Nope, you're not Speaker. Majority Leader.
You are near a roll point here.
Well, I think there are people who are sincerely want to get this figured out.
Have they
on the
told
Democrat
you that?
side.
That they're ready? They're about ready?
There are, and of course the challenge is the Democrat leadership could care less about this. And Chuck Schumer, they're in a box. I mean, like I said, they are running scared of the far left in this country right now, and that characterizes a whole bunch of Senate Democrats too. But there are some rank and file Democrats, I believe, and we have had, as you said, back channel conversations that have been going on for some time that have intensified here of late, and hopefully that will lead to a breakthrough. But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take rank and file Democrats who organically come to the conclusion that this doesn't make sense for them, politically long term for them either. I don't think this is a winning issue when you shut the government down.
And here's the thing. I said earlier in a video, I believe it was 2 days ago. I'm sorry, honestly, all the videos run together. We do so many of them. When you're talking about offering little fig leaves, remember when I did the video about Trump saying, like, there's some very common sense Democrats out there. There's some good ones. We know they're there. They want to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. It's going to be a great choice. It's going to be the greatest do it ever. When he did that in the Oval Office? And he kind of extended the olive branch, and he's like, there's some really, really smart Democrats. We know they're going to do it. They want to do it. You want to do it. I want to do it. Who wants to do it? I mean, literally, John Thune just did the exact same thing. The Republicans are actually politically playing this correctly, and it's both exciting and amazing at the same time, because usually they don't play this right. But let's keep on going, because this is something else that the Republicans are playing. Then I'm going to show you the lefties, because whoa. Because that civil war we've been talking about between the Dems and the lefties and the progressives and the moderates and the middle-of-the-road establishment, it's getting real spicy. All right, so this is a senator from Florida. Listen to what Rick Scott just did. Again, this is all about perception. This is all about handling the perception of the optics of the situation. And the Republicans are winning. Watch this.
If you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid. You don't show up and do your job, you don't get paid. Why are we getting paid? We shouldn't get paid if we don't do our job. We need to figure out how to work together to get our budgets done. It's as simple as that.
So you're going to offer legislation to not get paid during shutdowns?
Absolutely. I already have a bill. We've got a bill that we don't get paid during the shutdown. Ron Johnson's got a bill that will never have shutdowns. That should pass also. But on top of that, what are the Democrats doing? This is a clean resolution. All we're doing is keeping the funding. Actually, the funding is too high. It's still the Biden funding. But I don't want to shut down government, so I support it. But the Democrats, they want to shut down for whatever reason. How is this good for the country? Nobody wins with a shutdown. If you didn't do your...
Yeah. William Evans in the chat just said 800,000 anyone. I assume he's talking about the subscription list, which I would love to get to 800,000. Let's do that together. Tell all your friends and everyone you care about. All right, so this is a really important piece to this. Guys, super chat from Mike says, Braden, let's get spicy. I don't know about getting spicy. Spicy's going to be the next clip. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to get a little more animated than the next clip. This one is much more rah, rah, we can do this, we got this. The next one's a little more spicy. But the optics piece on this, to wrap up this whole thing about how Republicans are handling this, the Republicans are out here saying, hey, Democrats, you can come and join us. It makes more sense. It's obvious it's a good decision. And we're having backroom channel deals, and we're doing all these different things. And then the Republicans are also putting forward bills to say, hey, maybe we all shouldn't get paid while the country's not getting paid. I don't know. Crazy thought. It's all about the optics and the perception. And right now, amazingly, the Republicans are pulling this off. I just showed you the whole CNN clip. I showed you the generic ballot. I've been tracking this like a hawk for this moment, like legitimately, as it culminates. We're getting real close to the end. And I can't tell you a time, but it's close. But that's one real important piece of this. Now, Mike, you said you wanted spicy. Well, here we go. I saved this for the end when we had 1,700 people in here. I've shown you how the Republicans are doing, and I've shown you through my own content production how we're doing it on my side, how we're saving the country step by step. Now I'm going to show you, for some reason, this woman is taking hold on the left. And this is the new little female podcaster, which, shocking, it's a female podcaster for the Democrats. And she's very foul-mouthed, she's very aggressive, and she's very antagonistic. But I want to play this clip, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with it for a second, because she just doesn't give any Fs. And the progressives, which is what she represents, and the Democrats are going at it daily. I've told you this through multiple Politico articles, all the going after of candidates, the purity test versus the generic, corporate Democrats. Literally, this is it. Watch this. This is how the left is doing it. I'm just showing you how we're doing it. Watch this.
Finally, if you think this Zoran thing is happening just in New York, and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to...
All right, so come here. I want to draw a very clean contrast for you guys. So what you're watching right now is one of the main podcasters on the left driving the progressive left, like the socialist, the communist, the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders, the Zohan, whatever, the Mamdani, whatever the hell that guy's name is, the New York mayor guy. Yeah, that's what they're pushing. And then you've got the Democrats over here who are caught off guard because this side's too aggressive, which is ironic because the Democrats used this side forever to gain their momentum, but then they lost it because the parasite became the host. But this whole No Kings rally celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk because of something they didn't agree with politically, that's okay, and then laughing about it. And then this podcaster is also laughing about it. We're about to go into where the liberal podcaster goes after the Democrats on her show. Watch this. I'm telling you guys, you are watching a cold civil war right now in the Democrats. Let's keep going. This is how they're handling it.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Stop taking AIPAC money. Go on an I'm sorry I took AIPAC money atonement tour if you want to stay in power. Stop missing out on these big rallies. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City, but no, they wouldn't show up because they're pussies. They're pussies that are beholden to the same corporations that that helped Donald Trump get elected.
All right. So we're going after name calling, of course. She's going after the Democratic establishment, of course. But the thing that she goes after, which is very interesting, is she goes after the AIPAC connections and the Jewish money and the Jewish support of democratic institutions and politicians. So she's going down the socialist AOC Bernie Sanders bad anti-Zionist, anti-Israel thing. And openly threatening, you heard it in the beginning of that little clip, we're going to go after you, corporate Democrats, just like we go after MAGA. Well, that worked out well, didn't it, Cupcake? Because I'm pretty sure that we have the House, the Senate, and the White House, and everything is going against you. And the only demographics that they have are people that look like this, middle-aged, bitter, wine-drinking moms. Or individual single women. Boss ladies. Almost made a mistake. But let's keep on going. I got more for you. Watch.
And this is just an embarrassment. Kudos to Bernie, to AOC, to Zoran. And that woman out in somewhere middle America saying, fuck Charlie Kirk, he was a racist, he was a piece of shit. There are so many more of us than there are of them. And these Democrats that continue to play patty cake with corporations and lobbyists, nobody wants that. Nobody wants you. We want politicians to speak freely and look at what the benefit is. Look at what is happening in New York. And you dipshits are sitting on the sidelines, running your social media like complete dorks. It's embarrassing. Get your shit together. Hakeem and Chuck, seriously get your shit together because the Democratic Party is moving on. We are moving
on. The Democratic Party is moving on. Did you catch that, guys? I could do a sole video on this alone, and I might do it. The Democrat Party is moving on, which means they have now the progressives, the far left sociopaths, the wine-drinking cat ladies, thank you, chat, for that one. They have now claimed the Democrat brand. The parasite has become the host. The left is now trying to push the Democrats out of the Democratic brand. They don't want to make their own brand of democratic socialists, which is the next step. So they want to go ahead and excise the establishment Democrats out of the Democrat brand. That's what you're actively watching. We're going to come after you like MAGA. You need to change everything. You need to adopt socialism like they do in New York City. There have been multiple videos and multiple polls that show that if you go socialist, like New York or Illinois or California, you lose the entire nation. You have a ultra pure minority and you have never, ever, ever full adoption. Everyone has said it. Chris Cuomo has said it. Even, Jon Stewart has said it. They've all said it. They all know it. But the far left progressives over here, the crazy wine-drinking middle-aged white women, who is the only demographic still in the Democratic Party, they're taking the party further to the left because they want more ideological purity, and they're going to try to take the party away. That's what they're doing, and they're threatening them. Just like they did MAGA, even though they lost everything. I think that's a pretty good way to wrap this show up. Oh, I had a super chat. Hold on. I had a super chat. Newton Meters says, thanks for $5. Well, thank you. And guys, with that, listen, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm over the target? Can I see some planes in the chat? Can I get some planes in the comments? Some likes, some emojis, some shares, some subscribes. All those amazing things help the channel go around. And with that, guys, I love each and every one of you just the right amount. I hope I landed that plane. I hope it brought a little bit of a happiness to your face. And I will see you tomorrow when we continue delivering happiness on a silver platter because this country is just getting started. And I will see you on the next one.